number of something, but don't worry, I won't do that to you. So, yeah, hey Cosette, how are you? It's such an interesting evening, isn't it? I did have this all written out, but I'm going to say that. Welcome to Community Theater's annual awards night. This is our way of recognizing our productions for outstanding work on and backstage. Thank you for helping us to celebrate our 92nd season. Obviously, we're holding our awards tonight in an open air space and not in our own theater. And we felt that due to COVID-19 that this was a better choice of venue. Even though this isn't how we would normally celebrate, I feel it's a great place to do so on the banks of the Wabash River. And if you think about it, what a piece of history this is. Right over there were many, many paddle wheels went up and down that river with live entertainment. And I think that's very symbolic of what we're doing here this evening. Don't you, Denise Keegan? I think you think that too, yes. Is he talking to me? So, in true community theater fashion, we decided the show must go on. So this is what we're doing. Even though it was a very short season with 4 shows, they were great shows, and we certainly want to honor those this evening. So without further ado, let us begin our awards presentation. Presenting our first tally for supporting actor runner-up, Peggy Epgar.
All right, let's get this party started. The nominees for Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role runner-up are Avery Finn as Mr. Mushnick in Little Shop of Horrors, Daniel Wood as Oren in Little Shop of Horror, Peter Cinconi as Booley in Driving Miss Daisy, Lester McGee as Aldolfo in The Drowsy Chaperone, Josh Hoffman as George in The Drowsy Chaperone, and Michael Tingley as Underling in The Drowsy Chaperone. And the winner is the Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role runner-up is Lester McGee as Aldolfo.
Okay. Yeah, it took a while to get down those steps, but I just want to thank my directors and my castmates. I see y'all. I just want to thank everybody for the crew and everybody who came out to support. It was definitely a role that I normally probably wouldn't play per se, but looks like it turned out pretty well, and I'm just grateful for winning this award. It's my 3rd one, so I'm feeling kind of good. So hopefully we'll get to have the season this next season, and hopefully I'll be in some more shows and see all your pretty faces and everything like that. So thank you.
I am here to present the Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role runner-up. Nominees are Eliza Blower as Ronette in Little Shop of Horrors, Solanda Brown as Chiffon in Little Shop of Horrors, Brooklyn Shepard as Crystal in Little Shop of Horrors, Maggie Lawson as Kitty in The Drowsy Chaperone, and Barbara Potter as Mrs. Tottendale in The Drowsy Chaperone. We have a tie. Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role runner-up, Eliza Blower and Solanda Brown.
Accepting a corner anyway, so I'm short. Sorry. Thank you. On behalf of both me and Solanda, she couldn't be here tonight. She's in Florida. Good for her. I do want to say that I'm going to accept this on behalf of all three of the doo-wop girls because I think we all worked really well together and I think we all did a great job and it was just a really great show. So, thank you.
I'm back. It is my job to now present the BARG Award. Okay? The BARG Award, which stands for Best All-Around Guy or Gal, is a long-standing award given by the board president to a volunteer who has gone above and beyond helping community theater in any way that he or she has been asked to do. It was a difficult decision this year, but I had to make one. The recipient of this year's award is no stranger to hard work in our community. He has been on many boards and actually expressed interest to be on our board a little over 2 years ago. We were thrilled and said yes to his request without hesitation. Besides being a board member of community theater, he is a husband, a father, and a doting grandfather. If you would look up loving family man in the dictionary, his picture might just be there. I have known this year's recipient for my entire life. We were neighbors growing up. His mother and my father, both in their 90s, still live about 250 feet from each other. I had asked this year's recipient to chair a very important committee about 2 years ago. Without hesitation, he said yes and did an outstanding job chairing that committee. And there were some difficult times during that, and he was great on the committee and was a great friend to me during that time. He is always upbeat, supportive, positive, and has shown his support to the theater on every level and to me. As adults, we have discussed many times that we were sorry we weren't closer as kids growing up. He was smart, popular, athletic. I was not. I think that our friendship worked out just the way it was supposed to. This year's recipient has way too many accolades to list. Most importantly is the former bishop of his church, Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, chief judge of Eagle County Superior Courts, and a friend to many. The winner of this year's 2019-20 BARG Award is the Honorable Christopher A. Newton. Say something.
Shucks, I'm speechless. That never happens to me. I had no idea. Gary, thank you. What a wonderful organization this is. I think that, we're like any family and sometimes we have our problems, but I think this theater is probably the envy of many such theaters throughout the state of Indiana and maybe even in the Midwest. We're very fortunate to have not only our building, but the volunteers that we have, and it's just an honor to be with all of you and to be a part of this group. I look forward to every one of your performances. Thank you so much.
His brother stole my bicycle when I was a kid, but I'm not supposed to tell that story. I'm telling the story, he's making fun of me. Okay, this is an off-schedule award I'm going to make up tonight. Peggy's let that look like, what the heck is he talking about? When I was asked to take the office as president a little over 2 years ago, it was out of the order of the normal things. I'd been vice president, was on the board in the early 2000s, but certainly wasn't in line to be an officer. At the time that I was asked, the board had recently gone through some out-of-the-norm officer changes, so I was asked to fill the position. I was honored, and I accepted. I'd been a board member that was involved in some committee work, but pretty much just smiled and showed up, and somebody looked at me, I smiled, said, yeah, I'm trying. Speak when I was spoken to. I'm sure the existing officers thought, what are we in for? I believe it's been a pretty smooth couple of years, other than a couple of bumps, and then COVID-19, of course, hit us. But I want to thank the entire board and all volunteers for all of their support, and one board member in particular. I'm sure when I got this position, he thought, oh my gosh, what's going to happen here? But I think it's worked out all right. Being an old guy like I am, I needed help in many levels. The board policy and procedure, electronic challenges, and this board member never hesitated to help me in any way, anything that I asked for. There's no special award, so I kind of created one. And I'm going to call it the Special Recognition and Appreciation Award. Would AJ come out here, please?
Well, he got me. Because we talked about these the other day and I had no clue. It's been a real pleasure serving as Gary's vice president the last 2 years. We've really worked as a team and become friends and tried to support one another through this, and it's been a great learning opportunity. And I'm just honored and surprised, and it's really an honor to serve on this board. Thank you.
It's my honor to read to you the nominees for Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role Runner-Up. And the nominees are Mark Rollins as Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors, Robert Orr as Hoke in Driving Miss Daisy, J.T. O'Connor as Actor 1 in Greater Tuna, Doug Lunn as Man in the Chair in The Drowsy Chaperone, and Dylan Keller as Robert Martin in The Drowsy Chaperone. And the Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role runner-up is Robert Orr, Driving Miss Daisy.
Thank you very much. I tell you what, it was such a great honor working with Cosette, Susan, Pete, and everybody else that was on the production. I got young kids, so I don't get out of the house very often, and the play afforded me that opportunity. And it was great, it was a great experience, and I loved it to death. Let's do it again. Thank you very much.
The nominees for Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role runner-up are Jalissa Barley as Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors, Susan Montz Bologna as Daisy in Driving Miss Daisy, Jennifer Parker in Greater Tuna, Taylor Kirshner as Janet in The Drowsy Chaperone, and Heather Williams as the Drowsy Chaperone in The Drowsy Chaperone. And the winner for Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role runner-up is Taylor Kirshner, The Drowsy Chaperone.
As Taylor's director and on behalf of Taylor, thank you.
I'm back. I gotta pay attention to my own order, apparently. As all of you know, this has been a difficult year for the world and community theater. We faced an unprecedented cancellation of 3 shows, and when I look back at the history, we've never faced that before. But I know we'll come through this, just like everybody, and we'll be stronger than ever. When we had to make the difficult decision, and it happened very rapidly, if you'll remember, to close the theater, we had 1 show that was 10 days away from production. Fortunately, the others were far enough out that we were able to push them to the following season. But the cast of Murder Room didn't have that opportunity. They were 10 days out, the set was on the stage, the props were in place, the actors knew their lines for the most part. And the light cues were set, and it was ready to go. And just like that, we went dark. And this is the longest, I believe, community theater's been dark in decades. And we're theater people. We're used to doing a show for an audience. I mean, we all have fun in rehearsals, and that's the great, but we do it to do it in front of an audience. And Murder Room didn't get that opportunity. And I got to see rehearsals of that show, and it was really gonna be great. So it's really sad that they didn't get that opportunity. But we really want to take a moment to thank them for their commitment to community theater, because they did it to come out and support us. They didn't get their performance. It was truly volunteerism. So I went back and looked at our history books and looking at our history of awards. And 9 times in our history of 93 years, there's been a special award given, and this year will be the 10th. So in appreciation for extraordinary dedication to community theater of Terre Haute, the board of directors recognizes Sarah Saluki and the cast and crew of Murder Room for outstanding time, talent, and effort committed to production work. You were involved in that show. Come on up.
Most of you know I'm rarely at a loss for words. It was really hard for all of us. We got right up to it, and we tried to find a way to keep going, but things worked against us. So these people that worked very hard to put up sets and design lights and learn their lines, so many good new people, we're gonna love this show. They never got their bell. So, hey Rayleigh, take the bell. Thanks to the board, we'll all be back. Now, thank you.
Okay, moving right along. The nominees for Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role are Avery Finn as Mr. Mushnick in Little Shop of Horrors, Daniel Wood as Orin in Little Shop of Horrors, Peterson Coney as Booley in Driving Miss Daisy, Josh Hoffman as George in The Drowsy Chaperone, and Michael Tingley as Underling in The Drowsy Chaperone. And the winner is Peterson Coney.
I don't know how to talk to this thing. It doesn't have a mask. Yeah, it's funny, you know, we do these things for performances, and I tell people with only about half in jest that you can have the performances, I'll take 2 or 3 weeks more rehearsal, because that really is where all the fun is. You get to work with people like Susan and Cosette and Bobby and all the people who are involved in the show. It's very intimate because of the size, and that made it really special. I appreciate the thought of this. Thank you.
The nominees for Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role are Brooklyn Shepard as Crystal in The Little Shop of Horrors, Maggie Lawson as Kitty in The Drowsy Chaperone, Barbara Potter as Mrs. Tottendale in The Drowsy Chaperone. And the winner is Brooklyn Shepard. Oh, come on, one more time. Come on, one more time.
Here, I'll take this off. I just want to say thank you. Little Shop was my first experience with community theater, and it was definitely a special one. Thank you for my Do-Up girls, for my team forever. So thank you all for this awesome experience.
The nominees for Best Set Design and Production are, hang with me here, Little Shop of Horrors, set design by Sandra Groves and George Pfister, set construction by George Pfister. Driving Miss Daisy, set design and construction by George Pfister, set decoration by Christian Parashuk. Set design for Greater Tuna by Don Rogers, Jeremy Johnson, and Lance Wigington. Set decoration by Sandra Groves. The Drowsy Chaperone, set design by A.J. Dinkle, set construction by Joe Dinkle, and set decoration by Kelly Coy. And the winner is The Drowsy Chaperone, set design by A.J. Dinkle, set decoration by Kelly Coy, set construction by Joe Dinkle.
Well, I don't see Kelly, but thank you. This was such a fun show. Thanks to Karen, thanks to the whole crew, everybody that helped with the set. It was just a great experience. It was just a fun show. I didn't intend to be the set designer on top of the music director, but I did, and we had a lot of fun building the set. So it was a lot of fun, so thank you.
And she's back. I've composed myself. Okay. The nominees for Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role are Mark Rollins as Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors, J.T. O'Connor as Actor 1 in Greater Tuna, Doug Lunn as Man in the Chair, The Drowsy Chaperone, and Dylan Keller as Robert Martin in The Drowsy Chaperone. The 2020 Talley for Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role goes to Doug Lunn in Man of the Cherry.
So if you don't know, Doug just had hip replacement surgery less than a week ago, so we knew he couldn't be here. So right before we came to set up tonight, we stopped by his house and surprised him with his tally. And he was very surprised and very gracious and said thank you. So,
Well, I was just going to say that right now, Doug is truly the man in the chair.
Right, the nominees for the best performance by an actress in a leading role are Jalissa Barley as Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors, Susan Montz Bologna as Daisy in Driving Miss Daisy, Jennifer Parker as actor number 2 in Greater Tuna, and Heather Williams as the Drowsy Chaperone in The Drowsy Chaperone. The best performance by an actress in a leading role goes to Susan Montz Bologna.
I had to do that, you know I did. Wow. My son he's getting ready to turn 34. He was 2 years old when we moved to Terre Haute, my late husband and I. And I landed my first role at CT a year later. So for more than 30 years, I have been involved in community theater. I've come and gone back and forth, spent some time directing as well, which I loved and hope to get back to. But what an amazing experience, and you all have got to know how wonderful you are to work with. I hope that I get the chance to work with each and every one of you in some capacity. That being said, Driving Miss Daisy was probably to date one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had. Not only working under the incredible Cosette, who instinctively knew things. She could just say a sentence and I went, oh, yeah, and just sent me off in a different direction. Bobby, gosh, just gave me every day something new, something exciting, and something wonderful to deal with. And Peter. And Peter.
Mama!
My baby. Yeah. And we'll talk about that. I told him that I would never play his mother again. He had to play my father before I ever would. Even though I do have a couple of years on him. Well, 3 or 4. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity, Cosette and the board who acknowledged it. But thank each and every one of you for volunteering and finding the same joy in doing this that I do. It is just so wonderful. Love seeing some of you that I don't get a chance to see very often. Thank you so much. See you next year.
Now I need to borrow Doug Lund's chair, because look how many people I have to read. Because these are the nominees for Best Technical Production. So Little Shop of Horrors was produced by Sherry Herner Ellinger, costume design by Annette Cottrell, lighting design by Emily Kohler, makeup and hair design by Jimmy Lentz, properties design by Pat Wheeler, sound design by Rachel Carl, and stage managed by Courtney Gosh. Next was Driving Miss Daisy. There were only 3 people on stage, but there were a lot more people working. Okay, produced by Glenda Cordell, costume design by Claudia Bedwell, lighting design by Barb Austin, makeup and hair design by Alexandria Moran and Cosette Miller, properties design by Cheryl White, sound design by Michael Hudson, and stage managed by Courtney Gosh. Greater Tuna, produced by Lorraine Franks, costume design by Claudia Bedwell, lighting design by Kevin Ward, makeup and hair design by Amber Wigington, properties design by Pam Virgilio, sound design by Doug Champion, and stage managed by Laura Reed. And finally, The Drowsy Chaperone, produced by Sherry Herner Ellinger, costume design by Peggy Apgar, lighting design by David Del Coletti, makeup and hair design by Connie Cowan, properties design by Pat Wheeler, sound design by AJ Dinkle, and stage managed by Sarah Saluki. And the 2020 Talley Award for Best Technical Production goes to The Drowsy Chaperone. Hair and makeup designer.
Thank you. I'll always say something, you know that. Gosh, we had such an awesome A-team group that worked on that show. That comes from Karen because she started the A-team thing, and I'm thinking we had such good people that were there, put in so much time, as we all do on all shows. And I just want to say that I appreciate the award, and to be nominated, of course, is an honor, but to win is also pretty cool. So thank you so much.
I promise this is the last time I'm coming out. So obviously this was a different year for awards night. We didn't have a show, we didn't have musical numbers, but we're glad you were here. And I want to take a moment just to say some thanks to people that made it happen. First off, to the Talley crew, Glenda Cordell, Lorraine Franks, and Barb Potter. Thank you for stepping up and putting those together. It's a lot of work, trust me. Painting each of those intricacies. Thank you guys. Thanks to our judges. Let's see if I can remember them all off the top of my head. Kristen Chittick, Bill Dawson, Christy Fenton, Sharon Pitts, and Bev Pierce. It's an incredibly hard task to judge community theater shows, especially because they're just citizens. They have no theater experience for the most part, and it's just their opinion. So I would like to thank them for their time that they took to watch every show. Thanks to the board members that have been presenters tonight and helped get the show together. And lastly, thanks to every single person in this audience that's a volunteer at community theater. We could not do what we do without you. It's great to get together and celebrate the winners tonight, but really, every single one of you is important to our organization. It's our motto, everyone plays a part. And if one of you left, we couldn't do it. So everybody from the board, to the ushers, to the box office workers, to the people pulling the curtain, to the people on stage doing makeup, doing lights, doing sound, everything is important to what we do. So thank you. This is a night to celebrate our volunteers, and it's been incredibly difficult for the organization because we miss you, and we promise we will reopen when it's safe to do so. We're still evaluating our plans for next season, but we're looking forward to coming back together and doing it better than ever. So thank you.
Has to be the fastest awards night in history of all theater, anywhere, anytime. Okay, the nominees for Best Production are Little Shop of Horrors, directed by Sandra Groves. Music and direction by Aaron Rieger. Driving Miss Daisy, directed by Cosette Miller. Greater Tuna, directed by Ted Compton. The Drowsy Chaperone, directed by Karen Crispin. Music direction by A.J. Dinkler. Best Production 2020, Driving Miss Daisy.
Wow, this is my first tally. Very apropos. I want to thank the cast and crew for all of their hard work, the heart they put into this, and the passion they put into it. It's been a joy, and I hope to work with all of you again sometime.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all of our winners this evening. Before you scatter away, come backstage here. We're going to take some pictures. We're going to do that here in a little bit. Thank you everyone that came here tonight, if I don't want to talk. And for everyone that helped put the show on, thank you so much and have a safe trip home. Good night.